Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Connie. Going to be doing one more paper piece here with you. I have everything sorted out this time and actually maybe a little bit more organized, excuse me. Apologize for that. I'm going to be doing the Bear with Rain hat, again from Cuddly Cute Designs. This piece, this background piece, is cut at 3.767 wide, and he's 4.475 high. So just to give you an idea of where we're at with sizing on that. I do need to do one quick thing here. I just need to get the paper piece in front of me, and I will share with you, this is the card that I had made, the easel card. He's cut a lot smaller, still cute. Either way, the sizes aren't, that's completely up to you. And then the difference on the card, I used a different paper for the hat, but I think I'm about out of that. So, but again, I'm just starting with the water, because that is the background piece. And again, for this water, this one I only used Merino Mist on it. I didn't use any additional paper color or any additional ink. And I have put all of the, I don't know if you can see them here, the splashes of water together on the back, the white background. I think you can, you know, you've seen other videos, you know how to do that. Oh, excuse me. So you have an idea there. My tweezers wasn't quite on the paper well enough, and it was moving around. And get that on. And then the next piece we're going to do, and this is quite often the case, you put the arms on. Oh, there it is. See, I've lost a couple pieces. But yeah, you put the arms on next. And the trick with this is you want to make sure that, you know, you're getting down far enough that the head's going to cover it here. Okay, so that's important if you want to kind of lay that on. I gotta look at something. For some reason, sometimes my shadows don't line up with my pieces, and this happens to be, oh, I know what it is. The head's not going to match up at the bottom. That's right. I remember that now. Okay, but you want to make sure this is going to be covered by the head. And in this case, I'm going to show you one more piece that's why that head's not going all the way down. His cheeks, the cheek part of him goes down, and it covers to the bottom like this, where the head doesn't. But let's give you an idea. I give you all these little tips in hopes that you won't have the struggles I did when I first started putting some of these together and had to either tear them apart or redo completely, which, you know, is no big deal, but paper's not the cheapest thing in the world anymore, depending upon what kind you get. So, and this is going to be a little bit, I say, crooked or off center from this one. The hat is tilted just the slightest bit, and you won't catch that so much until you see the big version of this. I didn't probably notice it so much when I was doing the little one. Certain things like that you don't always see right away. So next thing we're going to do is put his body on, and there again you want to make sure it's going to be covered by the head, or in this case that bottom, cheek piece. But you don't want it up too far, because if you go too far, you know, you really got, you're kind of losing what's supposed to be the visual of the neck, that imaginary neck that's kind of built into the piece. So but let me say, that sounded very rude. I apologize. Do it the way you're comfortable. It's truly just to give you an idea of where the pieces go. Everybody does things different. I don't want you to feel like you have to do it exactly the way I do. I am sorry. That didn't come out at all well. The next pieces I'm putting on are the ears. Again, they're behind supposedly the head, so that's why I say that I put those on next. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, getting some craft time in. I am. My sister called me yesterday and we ended up doing a little shopping. She and my great nephew, and I went to the Dollar Tree. I only went with her into the Dollar Tree. Our Menards store, I don't know what she was buying, plants or some crazy thing. Children cannot go in, and you have to wear a mask. Adults all have to wear masks. And by that time, after one store, I'm about done for. I can't shop very well. So my great nephew and I stayed in the car, and I think he took a nap, and I people watched. Oh my. Almost as unique as going an experience as going to Walmart in my area. I don't get out to go shopping very often, so it was an eye-opener. But as I was mentioning at the Dollar Tree, they had wire wreaths for, I think they were supposed to be for Memorial Day, to be honest. But they already had the red, white, and blue star garland on them. So I thought I'm going to use that for 4th of July and make some kind of a paper piece and do a little door hanging for outside my door, just to decorate a little bit. Okay, so looking at this, I am going to put the head on next. Then I'll come back and do the bottom piece. This is, to me, one of her easier paper pieces that she's had lately. Other than the gnomes. The gnomes are not, to me, not difficult. Everybody has a different idea. Oh, by the way, this little hole in the back of his head back there, that was one of my Cricut Design Space and I were not getting along. That's and I still have to be careful. The pieces, when you get it to the screen before you actually hit continue to cut, they don't always show the full piece. You have to maneuver the computer, and that's what happened. So I had piece cut on top of piece, and I thought, well, it's just the shadow pad, the background, so it's good. So I went with it. It's not, it just fits in the head. So don't want to put that piece on yet, but I do want to get the hat on. So we're going to start with that next. We can put the hands on and get the face done. Okay, before I do this, I just realized I do this all the time. Got the glue on the hat. There's a little piece of the hat down here. This little yellow circle that needs to go on the hat. So I found the pieces, if you watched my previous video, I found the pieces to the eyes for the Father's Day, the Father Bear. Yeah, I knew I eventually would. Just how things work for me. Okay, get this. Now, I want to put this at a little bit more of an angle, because here again, I want to be sure, well, this one's going kind of straight, but I want to make sure that the top piece is going to cover everything. So my rain hat's going to be just at a little bit of an angle, and we'll just say that's the way he was meant to be. And we'll also put this at just a bit of an angle. to make it all work together. You can put this piece on first, and then you would put the yellow circle part, that little dot, right in the middle of it, which it all works together anyway. So usually you can either fix, so to speak, that little issue, or you can, make it look like that's the way it was supposed to be. Now on my yellow pieces, okay, so here's where I'm going to fix an issue, show you how I do that. But my yellow pieces, on these I used So Saffron first, and then I used Daffodil Delight. Gotta find my little scissors. Don't know if you caught it here. There's just a little tiny bit of white peeking out. So rather than try to come back and chalk that, I just shave it off with my scissors. And that was because I didn't quite get the yellow on exactly the way the pattern wanted. Now, had I been doing this without the background piece, I would have probably put it more at an angle anyway. I don't like things perfectly straight. I just want it to look like he's kind of tilted a little bit, so that's that. But now we're going to put his hands on, or his paws, excuse me, not a human being. One more over here. Then I'll come back and work on his face. I'm going to put him out of the way a little bit and get my eyes in here. This blue, I did again a little bit different. Nope, I guess I didn't. I used Tempting Turquoise on the inside and Marina Mist just around the edges on the outside. And there again, it depends upon how you apply the ink as to the effect you'll get. Okay. And what I'm going to do, I don't put these together, I don't glue them together until I get the eyes and stuff on. Just makes it easier for me, but I'm going to hold them as best I can, or place them where they belong. Again, put these at a little bit of an angle. I'm trying to center them between the sides of the head so that they're okay. I'll leave that there. It doesn't move too bad. And these other one on. I like to remove this now so I can see if there's somewhat the same, height down fairly close. Now I'll come in and do the detail the eyes a little more. If you have any kind of brown chalk, that would really be nice on here. I'm trying to think of the color. There's a really great, Pan Pastels has a single brown, and I right off the top of my head. I can't think of it, but eventually I want to get that instead of this stark black. But yeah, it's really nice. I like pan pastels for this because there's very, very little chalk dust with it, so it just works good, and it just applies so nice. So they have a wonderful product. Just get the ink away though. Stinking fingers. Oh, those eyes, now they show up and they just are everywhere. Go figure. Can just, if you're doing this black around, I just discovered this recently and it's just stuck out me really bad. What you're doing, whoa, get that away. Try to get the eyes, the black, to stop kind of even across. I didn't realize how dark it is if you don't. I was just looking at something I'd done recently and wow, yeah, I didn't get them even, and can imagine it really just all of a sudden hit me. And I will put some chalk on his cheeks. I can find my, oh, still have the pom-pom on there. Wonderful. Sometimes I get a little bit too much on one side and I go back and fix it. I just buff it out with my fingers. Now I want to put his muzzle on and his nose. Oops, don't need it moving on me. So then this next piece, and for these, I put it so the flatter piece, yeah, is at the top. It's not very much of a, it's kind of subtle, but for this I use Close to My Heart, and it is almond something or other. If Kim, if you're watching, I don't know the colors yet, so I apologize. It is just called almond, and then I go around it, that's Close to My Heart. Then I go around it on the outside with Stampin' Up's Soft Suede. Let's stop and think about that for a moment. Put his nose on. All I have left to do, if you're interested, is the detailing. Before I do that, in case you don't want to watch that, I just am going to quick share with you that I have all the pieces here for the splash. So I think this is how it goes. There's like a baby one over here, and then a big one over here. Anyway, what I wanted to share with you is I'll finish the face on this, obviously. But I'm going to be, these 3 pieces, if you leave a comment, I'm going to be doing a drawing, and I'll put the notes in the description below. I'll leave this open until, well, I'll leave the date on there because I'm not sure when I'm going to be putting this up, but I'm going to be doing a drawing to give these 3 pieces together away as a set. You will just need to leave a comment. You know, be sure you're a subscriber and leave a comment. And then I will put, like I said, the description box, I'll put the date in as to when the drawing ends, and then I'll come back and do the drawing. I just want to do some pieces and give some pieces away. But yeah, I'm going to do these 3. And these other 2 have the little splashes. I just don't have them out right now. But I'm going to get those out of the way, and these 4 little splashes so I don't lose them. Before I forget to tell you, I apologize, this bear is cut at 3.767 wide, 4.475 high. I tend to forget to tell you guys that. I am so sorry. Oh, and I did this wrong with the cheeks. I'm sorry, this one is completely different. I'm going to come in and fix that. Easy enough fix. The cheeks get this color, this tan gets the chalk, the ink. So not hard to fix. I'm just not giving him as much as I normally would for color, just to give you an idea. Okay, finish him up with the white gel work and chalk. So let's get these eyes in here. I do want to thank everybody for watching. I am trying to get some more videos going. I don't know, I get so busy lately, and now summer's coming. It's harder to force myself to stay in the house to do it. So let's put a little bit of chalk on here. His nose and his eyes should be dry enough to put a little bit in there. These aren't things you have to do. I just do it just to add a little bit of dimension, give them a little more life. But there is my finished, excuse my reach, bear. Making sure you can see it here. So again, I will put the date for the end for the drawing for the 3 pieces. Get that out of the way. I'm sorry on my chunk here. And thank you all for joining me. Have an awesome day, everybody. Take care.